Welcome along, and on today's video we're going to be looking at this. This is the KingKong Pro controller from Gulikit, and we've done a lot of controllers on the channel, some good, some not so good, and some superb ones, and this is right up there. So as you can see, it doesn't look particularly assuming. It's quite sleek, it's quite minimal, but it has a super amount of functions on it. More functions than I think I've ever come across on a controller. So what we're going to do today is we're going to quickly unbox it, we're going to go through all of the functions, and I'm going to give you reasons why this controller really should be on your radar. So let's jump in as we look at this, the KingKong Pro controller from Gulikit. And here we have the controller, and just before we do that, I'm just going to do a little bit of admin. If you could be so kind as to stick a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new around here, and do share the video around, I would be really appreciative of it. It would really help me out. Thank you so much. If you drop me a subscribe, I'll give you as many quality videos on console and tech accessories as I possibly can. Okay, and also, is it Gulikit or Gulikit? I'm going to start calling it Gulikit because I think that's how you say it. And here we have the Gulikit KingKong Pro controller in its plastic casing. Now this casing is superb. Back in May 2020, I think it was, they used to supply it in like a fabric zip-up case. They've changed that now, and now you get it in a hard plastic shell. And this is superb. If you want to carry the controller around, or just for protecting from dust and marks and stuff, it's superb because it's properly solid. So you'd stick it in your bag and you wouldn't have to have any worries whatsoever on this. Okay, another quick mention was this card here. So this is like a quick start guide. It has all of the functions on here, and the reason I mention this is because this controller has so many functions, it's unbelievable. There are loads, and they're all on the controller. You don't need an app or anything like that. You don't need to connect it to any software. It's all done on the controller. Okay, so let's crack on. When you get it out, we're going to do a first look and feel. So the look of it is just really minimal, really classic. There's not much to it. I mean, the only difference are those two buttons there. That's the function button and that's the macro button. But that's it. Other than that, there's not much else to it. And it's smooth, all smooth over. I don't know if you've had an Xbox controller, but it certainly feels like one of them. It's like that really smooth plastic that almost feels rubbery. It's that smooth, it's lovely. There's no grippy texture to it. It's pretty much plastic all the way over, apart from metal triggers and the metal under the thumbsticks. Now the thumbsticks, they have metal under there, and they also have a metal ring around there. So when you're doing that, it's metal on metal, and it feels premium quality. The thumbsticks themselves, they're kind of rubber, and they have a grippy texture around the outside, and they feel nice. And the button press is like a deep click, a really deep, satisfying click. And the D-pad, I appreciate the D-pad is a personal preference for most people, but for me, I found it fantastic. It's got that halfway between spongy and clicky. It's like pressy. And exactly the same with all these other buttons as well. They're all pressy, they all feel like a Pro controller. There's no click to them, but it's kind of like a press to them. And they're certainly not spongy, so that's really nice. And the triggers, the two digital there, and it's a bit of an analog trigger there, which is not really useful for the Switch, but it would be for other devices. So certainly a bit of travel there. And then finally, over here, we have the connection button there. So you can connect it to an Android phone, Windows PC, or the Switch. You have in the middle there your USB Type-C charging port. And then you have your connection and pairing button. And the 4 LEDs there will tell you which number 1, 2, 3, or 4 you are connected to with the Switch. And also, when you plug it into charge, there's an orange light on there. That means it's charging. And when that goes out, that means it is fully charged. And as you can see, we're about halfway on the battery there. I will leave a link down below of where you can get hold of this, but there's a couple of things you need to note first. There's two types. There's a standard version and a pro version. Okay, if you want the pro version, you'll get a few extra features and the macro can last a bit longer. It's just these buttons are black, so when you go and have a look, just make sure you are getting the pro version, and also just doubly check that you are getting it from the Gulikit store, just in case. It's just I've seen a couple of other these that look very similar and almost identical that aren't actually Gulikit official pro controllers. So just make sure, go and have a look at the link below, and then double make sure that the one in my store is the one. I will have linked to it. It's just over time. I hope it doesn't change. And I will keep an eye on it just in case. We don't really have any problems with fakes on Amazon and on my channel. It's just this one I've seen a couple and I just want you to be aware, that's all. Let's go and have a look at the latest prices. And what I was saying about now is about the features. It is feature packed. There are so many features, it is insane. I'm only going to be showing off 2 or 3 features, and I'll just talk about a few of the others because there's some I can test and I can show you and some I can't. For starters, it has NFC, so you can use your amiibos on it. It has turbo, it has AB swap, it has 4 vibration levels, it has 3 gyro levels, it has stick sensitivity, it has ZR, ZL sensitivity, and it has macro. Okay? Do you need anything more? I'm not sure. But also, the battery will last 14 hours, which is about right for a third-party controller on a couple of hours charge. And the only thing I think is it doesn't wake up the Switch. Okay, I think that's the only negative on this. And some people do like a 3.5mm jack on there. This one doesn't have that. What we're going to do now is we're going to jump into the Switch because we're going to show you a few of the functions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the AB XY swap first. So here we are, we're on the Switch, and I've got this controller connected here. And the way we're going to disconnect this one and connect this one is by going to the Joy-Cons and then change grip order. This will disconnect this one, and then we need to connect this one. And the way you do that is you hold this button down and it will start flashing rapidly. But as mine has already started to connect, all I need to do is just start pressing some buttons so it wakes it up. And then it will search for this, and there we go, it's connected straight away. I found that you can press pretty much any button and it will start waking it up. So we know that it's on the Switch and it's connected to number 1. Okay, so go over to here, go down here, all the way down here, controllers and settings, and then all the way down here to test input devices and test controller buttons. Okay, what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you that you can swap over X, Y, A and B. So A at the moment, as you can see, B and X and Y. This button here is your function button. So this is what you press, and then you press something else to change that. So you press this button here and you press the plus and it vibrates. And now when I press this, it will be B. There you go, and that will be A. And then the X button is now Y. And then that is now X. And to change it back, what you do is you press that function button again, and you press the plus button, and a very long vibrate, and we know that that's back on X, that's back on B, that's on A. Back out of that menu. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you the vibration settings. So there's 3 types of vibration settings. There's low, medium, high, and off. So the way you do that is you press the function button again, and you press up on the D-pad to make it more powerful and down the D-pad to make it less powerful. So if I find out where we are, so if I press that and press up, it's got 1 vibration, so we know that's low. Press it again, 2 vibrations, and then ready, it's going to do 3. There you go, 3 vibrations, so we know that that's on the most powerful. And then when you want to turn it down, press that and press down, 2 vibrations, do one vibration, and then a big long vibration to say that it's off. Superb. Also has the gyro levels as well. You press that combination of the function button, the stick sensitivity, you can go to 60 to 30 or 100%. And again, you do this by pressing this one and the stick in, and we can show you this on the Switch. So if I go to calibrate control sticks, I go into here. As you can see, we're at 100%. If I press the function button on the left, we're at 60. Function button on the left, 30. And then function button and the stick again, and we're back to 100% sensitivity. Okay, and then we can also do ZL and ZR, and also I want to tell you about turbo as well. And there's two different types of turbo. The first turbo is you hold down the button and it will rapidly press 20 times a second. Or the other type of turbo is you press it once and it will do it 20 times a second without you touching the controller. Okay, so here we are on the Switch then. The way you do this, so we've got XXX. I want to do turbo on the X. All I do is hold down the function button and press X, and it vibrates. And therefore, if I hold down X, there you go, it's doing 20 times a second, because normally if you hold down a button on this menu, it would back out, but it's not doing that, it's pressing 20 times a second. Okay, just so that again, hold it down, there we go. Okay, now the second one, you activate that by holding down the control and pressing the button you want, and it vibrates. If I back out of this and go into this and show you again, all I need to do is press that once and it will do it. There we go. Okay, just to show you a couple of A's and B's in there, but it carries on doing turbo for you. So if you just want to sit there with it just pressing X or any of the buttons or any of the triggers, just let it go like that. And then to cancel it, hold that down, press that, and we back out, come back in, and we're onto it. Similarly, hold down the function, press the right bumper, press it again, there we go, plays for you. Okay, cancel that. The last function that I want to tell you is the macro function, and this is probably one of the most useful functions. This can record button presses for 10 minutes. Okay, to activate that, you have this macro button down here. You hold that down, and then it will vibrate. And now it's in recording mode, so it's recording. So we'll go B A B A X Y X Y B A B A X Y B. Okay, and then you press it again, and it's been stored. And then if we go into test input devices, just to all the buttons, the way you activate this is by double tapping this. B A B A X Y X Y B A B, and it's done it without me doing anything, and it will continue to do that. It will repeat it and repeat it and repeat it until you hold that down and then you stop it. Okay, so you can record 10 minutes worth of button and trigger presses and record this to the Switch, and it will do it automatically for you. Right, here we are in some Mario, and we go on this level because we can easily work out, just to test that the gyro works, and the rumble is really powerful. It's nice. Yeah, it's really good. Okay, so what we do is if we eventually jump onto this, we can test that the gyro works, because how we're going to get Mario to climb up that pole is by shaking the controller. So there we go. Oh, it's a good old rumble, because we've got the rumble set to the highest. We want to turn that down to number 2. Yeah, it rumbles less. Really good. And then if you want to turn it down to rumble 1, so we've got less rumble. That's a really soft rumble. That's a nice soft, sharp rumble. And then when you whack it up to number 2, that feels like kind of like a normal rumble, I would say. And then when we whack up to 1, 2, 3, whack up to the rumble, that's a powerful one. That's excellent. I've been playing with this for a while now, and I haven't noticed any dead zones. We can test that by going into here, to the settings, all the way down to controllers and sensors, and then down here, calibrate control sticks, and we can click the left stick. It's fine, and then the right stick. Seems fine. So there we go. Overall, this is an extremely feature-packed controller. It feels premium, it looks nice and unassuming, it feels quality, it looks quality, and it has all the functions you need. It has everything. So if you're looking for a controller that has everything, you can set up things like your stick sensitivity or your ZL and ZR sensitivity. You do that on the controller. You don't need an app for it. You do it all on the controller. The only thing I think it doesn't do is wake up the switch. But I think we're used to that now with third-party controllers. But that's the only downside. So go and have a look down below, down at the link. See whether this one is for you. I think this is absolutely fantastic on a really, really decent piece of kit. Okay, any comments, please do leave them down below. Do stick a thumbs up. Do subscribe. Do share the video around. I would really appreciate it. I've been Console and Tech Accessories, and until the next video. Bye-bye.